Greetings, YouTube. You are currently looking at what laughingly passes for a banister. Obviously, you can see the banister isn't doing anything. The other end is just as bad. And the other end's way up there. And I have to replace this. Now, my plan was to replace this when the weather was nice. I don't want to be replacing this in snow. But today is March 28th, and yes, it's snowing. And I have a building inspector coming on April 2nd. And this is the only thing I think is going to fail the inspections. And it would fail the inspection with too much confusion as to why. So I'm going to take this and remove it, and then we are going to put a new one in. And again, because it's bad weather, I can't lacquer it today, because there's a reason this one failed so spectacularly. This one failed so spectacularly because the people put it in, didn't treat it, and then for some inexplicable reason, they had returns. So it came down here, and there was a nice sample. In fact, you can kind of see that 45 degree right there. There's a 45 degree angle here, and they had a little section here that came and touched the banister. I guess it looked nice and tidy and neat. But you see, all they did by doing that was allow water to follow the fasteners into the wood and rot it. So I'll be replacing this on the same hardware. The current hardware is in pretty good shape, though I'm going to have to probably snug it up a little. It's a little on the loose side. And obviously the bracket that holds this and this together is missing, but I have already fabricated a new one. So I'll show you how I did that in a second, in a few minutes. And I will I'm just going to use straight cuts, and I'm going to spray lacquer it tomorrow. Tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny and in the 40s. But that will give me time. And the only reason I'm not putting this up tomorrow when it's sunny in the 40s is today is the only day my wife and I are together. And this is a two-person operation. I cannot do this alone. With one person, we have to stabilize it, and I have to clamp it in place, and I couldn't do this by myself. Even though I have some time tomorrow to lacquer it, and looking forward to getting a couple of coatings on there, I can't do anything today because this is just simple pine. And we're putting it in pine, so it's not all particularly expensive stuff. Even though it wasn't particularly expensive, this project's still going to cost me like $95 in materials, which is annoying. So I got spray lacquer, I got coated decking screws to attach it underneath. That's why I'm replacing these, probably with some coated decking screws. Actually, how those screws aren't in bad shape. I may just leave those in there. Just tighten them up. They're a little on the loose side. And get to use my brand new Makita cordless drill on this. That's pretty cool. And while we're here, I'm also going to show you something else. We're going to take a wander. Come with me. We shall wander. And this is my side yard, and this area actually has just gravel and a bunch of the snow. It still hasn't melted yet. But here used to be a roof on there. It's over there. It was so windy in March, and so many windstorms that it blew the roof off my little shed here. So today we're going to move the roof off the fence, because the fence doesn't belong to us. And then we're going to put it right next to the building, and when the weather's nicer, we're going to figure out how we're going to put it back up there. Because the problem is we only have one ladder, so we need two ladders, so we can lift it up and put it back in place, and then I'll screw it back in place. It's far better fastening than the people who put it up originally. You get the impression that people that worked on my building before I owned it did everything in kind of a half-assed manner. You'd be right. Alrighty, now over here is where the actual banisters are. So these are new. These are brand new ones, and they're just fine. That's pretty standard. Nothing exciting there. And I have a sanding block in my pocket, which I will use to knock the edges off. And I'm gonna take off the stickers, get rid of those. And then today, just again, remove the old one, get rid of it, and put the new ones in. And they're going to get wet. I've got no choice. But tomorrow, hopefully, they will dry. It's supposed to be sunny, then I can spray lacquer them, and we'll be good for Tuesday. So that'll be nice. I would like to get these things nice and clean and everything nicely finished so that the guys doesn't think that we're idiots. We're not idiots, just that people that owned the building before us didn't do anything the right way. But you know, I had no control over what happened to the building before I owned it. So next step up, remove the old one.
All right, the old banister is now gone completely. Here's my able companion with my lovely Makita cordless drill. And this is the bracket that came off, this goldy one, and this silver one is one that I've manufactured to replace the one that's missing. It's just a piece of aluminum. I think it was originally, there's two of these I think in my toolbox. I think originally it was meant to be like to hold something, like grab a rod or something, I'm not sure. But I just put a bend in it and it's about the same size and shape, so it'll function quite admirably. I'll put it in the middle so it's not quite as critical. I'll put the other ones at the ends. So next up is we're going to put the shorter of the two pieces in place, and we're going to clamp one end, and then we're going to give it a try. Action cam. I'm lying on my back at the moment on the steps, and I just want to show you the bracket that I came up with. So it's working quite effectively, and this is now nice and sturdy, and it's held in at that end with one of the old brackets, and the other one is at the other end. So the actual proper kind of brackets that we're supposed to be using, and then this one that I made, which actually frankly will probably weather better because it's aluminum, and these are coated, and this is coated, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about as much rust and stuff on this one, which is nice, you know. So now it's time to put the next one in. Well, there you have it, a new dart railing which is in decent shape. And tomorrow, since it's supposed to be in the 40s and sunny, I will come out here, wait for it to dry, and then I will give it a couple of layers of lacquer, spray lacquer. And I left a gap between the two, about an inch, so that I can actually get in there with the spray nozzle and make sure that they get coated. And I'm even going to make sure I spray the bottoms. So these things are pretty secure. I mean, I can take, oops, sorry for the shake. As secure as the whole banister is in this thing. Yeah, this, as I was just speaking to my wife about this, in my home, you can always guarantee that anything you lay your hands on was done wrong. So, oh yeah, and we got the roofing section. There's the roofing section that had been behind the garage. Now it's here. It's very, very heavy, waterlogged. I don't know what to do with it.
All right, we're gonna have to find something else to put up there.
Yeah, we are. So, that's today's project. It's complete, and we'll cut that up and get rid of it. Yay. And there is the finish I'm using, which is a indoor-outdoor spar urethane. And I just finished putting on the second coat. And there we go. This is the clear satin. So when it's dry, you can't even really see it. It just looks like plain wood, which is fine. I don't need it being all shiny or anything. But it looks a whole lot better than it did, and I gotta tell you, sitting on these stairs today to spray the underside of the banister is a whole lot more pleasant when they're not covered in snow, because I had to put a pad down yesterday while I was doing the screws underneath. It was a pain in the butt. But it's secure, and now it's relatively protected from the elements, so it should age a whole lot better. And without this absurd little turnarounds that they had on the last one, which just let moisture, you know, get inside the wood, and then of course they didn't treat it. These should last much better, and they should, in general, look better for longer, which is my goal. Yes, I know the woods are not the same. This is, I think, just aged pressurized lumber, but again, I didn't have anything to do with the steps. All I've done is reinforce them with numerous little little plates. There are plates all up and down this thing to help reduce the shaking. So again, like I said, if anything's done in my house, it's done poorly. But there you go, folks. This is my latest little project, and just in time for the inspection. It's coming Thursday, which will be the 2nd.